Good evening. It is Tuesday, August the 24th at 7:30 p.m. This is meteorologist Shay Gibson with Weather Flow, bringing you a wind, weather, and wave forecast for tomorrow's Surfers Healing Folly Beach 2021. It's going to be one perfect day for a lot of special ones out there. So um, I hope everybody has a great time tomorrow. We got a little bit of rain in the morning to deal with. We do have some decent waves though that are happening. We'll get into that in just a minute. Let me put myself down here in the corner and just display again. Last night on the preliminary report, I brought, this page up front for the Facebook page for Nancy Hussey and all the great people putting this on every single year, and Izzy and all the pro surfers. But I really love this graphic. I think it definitely shows the area with the porpoises and the waves, and just it really captures the event very well in an artistic mode. So I think this is awesome. So really looking forward to this event tomorrow. One quick thing, I know this is not weather related, but I did catch this earlier. There's been some concern about some children or some participants here that may have some symptoms for COVID. So that's always a thing. Always make the right call here. But know that Nancy Mitchell Morris is taking texts to say, hey, if your child has symptoms and you're thinking about you're on the fence and you don't want to bring your child tomorrow, somebody else will gladly take that spot. So let her know as soon as you can. Her number is posted there on the group page under new activity 843-697-4453. Again, Nancy Mitchell Morris. If you do have someone that you feel cannot make the event and you want to give that spot up to someone else. So with that said, we'll go ahead to the Folly Beach Pier. Let's take a look at what's going on live. And it looks like we got a little bit of a bump and swell today. I know that washout tends to be better overall in the swell performance and period and everything, but this is just south of the pier, the north side of the pier. Camera is down because they're rebuilding it. But there is a little bit of a bump and swell. This chop on the water should calm down by tomorrow morning. We're expecting light winds to start and not really pick up to modest speeds until about noon or early afternoon tomorrow, where we may get a little bit of a bump like this. But overall, the waves are looking fairly good in the morning, especially on incoming tides. That makes it even better. Let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on over the entire region. We do have our visible satellite up with composite radar. And one feature I want to point out here is this down here. This little area is more or less a gaggleplex of storm activity at this time, but we do feel like it is slowly becoming a short wave low pressure, non-tropical related, but it may have some tropical characteristics as it pushes north overnight. We think that this short wave will sort of graze the coastline and head in this direction, although it's a little bit tricky. The thing that happens is a lot of this troughing and moisture will be pushing north overnight. So we can expect sometime just before or right at sunrise, we'll probably see some showers and possible storms in the morning, so that make the setup a little bit difficult. But we do think that those will dissipate by mid to late morning, and we may have another few isolated showers and storms that might try to work in off the coastline by early afternoon to mid-afternoon. So we may have to be dodging a few areas of showers and maybe a possible storm or two from time to time, but it doesn't look like it's going to be a complete washout. If we look at the HER model, this is a triple HRRR model, which is pretty good with precip, and I'll just run it forward through tonight. Now this is based on, if you look at the timestamp here, it's 4 hours ahead. This is going on UTC time. We have to take 4 hours off of it to get back to Eastern time. But as we go overnight and into the morning, we can see that area lifting up from the south off the ocean into the area where we start to see those storms right about 2:45 a.m. Is what the timestamp says. 0645 is 6:45 a.m. So we minus 4 hours. Then we go through into time. We see those showers move off by sunrise, and then we have another area of storms or showers and storms might be moving in sometime by around 10:30, 11 o'clock. So this is not exact. This is just one model run for a solution. So we could get lucky and not see anything at all after 8 or 9 a.m. in the morning. I do think we may see some residual showers and storms that could flow through the area right through about 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning before dissipating and then coming back maybe late morning. You might see some isolated showers. So it's a really tough call here as we see that moisture come up from the south. And the reason being is because of weak high pressure out off the ocean. So usually we have a really strong Bermuda high that's very robust and keeps that moisture locked inland. But when we have a weakening phase where we see the center extending all the way out to the coast and we see this moisture starting to wrap up and off the ocean, the Gulf moisture coming up here and up through off the Gulf Stream, and then we end up with a little weak area of shortwave troughing off the coast. And so we're sort of in that zone right now where we're seeing that, especially on the visible satellite. You see that offshore troughing. Throughout the day with sea breezes, we expect the storms will probably likely move inland along the sea breeze front and remain there for the day. We may see an isolated shower or two coming off the ocean, but overall it's sort of hit and miss in the morning and then it looks like things will clear out for a little while, or they'll get better, and then we start to see that afternoon potentials come up by mid to late afternoon. So that's what's the I'm sorry, the precip forecast. Here's the wind forecast. Right now we're seeing 12 to 15 knots at Folly South End, 16 to 20 Isle of Palms. We do expect Folly Beach to continue to decrease overnight. We get down towards 10 knots, maybe 8 to 12. By the time we wake up in the morning, we're looking at west winds. I know that some of the models do say south or south-southwest, but this time of year, we a lot of times we see westerly land breezes in the morning. That's what I think is going to happen. We have light westerly land breezes in the 4 to 8 knots range, maybe 5 to 9. Keep things pretty clean on the waves. That's offshore wind, which means the waves will be glassy to start until the wind's back more of a southerly direction, and they'll end up being south-southeast for tomorrow, more of an onshore, direct onshore flow by tomorrow afternoon, which will put a little bit of bump on it. You get a little bit of chop over the ocean, but the morning start looks pretty good all the way through about maybe 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning, where the waves will be fairly glassy to maybe semi-glassy by late morning. I don't think we need to go over the WP surface map because we just talked about that in detail. Temperatures look pretty comfortable in the mid to upper 80s, so not scorchers in the past, like where we have mid 90s, but definitely bring sandals in case the sand gets really hot. We have pockets of sunshine. That sand does get very hot out there. It's a darker color, a darker shade than some of our other beaches from replenishment, and so be sure to get protective footwear on because it will get pretty hot out there. 58% chance of rain, like I said, spotty in the morning, breaking up, maybe another isolated shower too late morning, and then again in the afternoon. So a little bit spotty on that. And sea surface temperatures are sitting right about 84 degrees. So this is our offshore buoy, right about 5 nautical miles. We don't have any water level tables or temperature gauges anywhere in the Charleston area for South Carolina, for all that matter, that are operating right now. So this is the only one we have, but it's pretty close, about 83, 84 degrees along the beaches and pretty comfortable. I think with that said, tide tables, we're looking at a fairly normal tide, 5.8 feet by 11 o'clock a.m. tomorrow morning. So on the incoming tide is the best time for waves. We can go back to Surfline here and just take a quick peek at the hourly. Looks like I would say 2 feet is what they're calling for right at sunrise, 7 a.m., 6 a.m., and going all the way through the day. They're holding that 2 feet, but I think we might get 2 to 3 feet on the incoming tide tomorrow morning. So somewhere around 9, 10 o'clock, probably seeing our peak swell right around waist and maybe even stomach sets, and then maybe backing down to thigh high sets by the afternoon. So there's definitely going to be some bump in the swell out there, something for riding for everybody out there. I think with that said, I'll go back to this page and then put myself up. But good luck, everybody, tomorrow. I hope to see everybody out there. I'm planning on being there unless something comes up. But everyone have a good time tomorrow. Stay safe and enjoy it. Enjoy your one perfect day. Thank you, everybody. Take care.